Hey friends, so today I thought we'd have a little conversation about what it means to go the distance with abortion-bound women. So on Friday we had a lady who we've been calling D, that's her first initial, who chose life. And when I spoke with her, her circumstances sounded stable, sounded like she hadn't, it didn't sound like she was on the fence. It sounded like she chose life, and she texted me in a way that, it sounded like, oh wow, she's really, she's committed. She went through the distance. I talked to her about, hey, how do you feel about adoption? And she said, I really think if I'm going to have the baby, I want to go the distance and I want to have, raise the baby. So we'd had that conversation, and she told me because of her work schedule, she needed to have an ultrasound appointment in the morning since I wasn't able to get her one the day she chose life. So, I was calling to try to figure out where I could set one up, and I eventually found one of the pregnancy centers around here that seemed to have a day that would work better, so she chose life on a Friday. So then it was going to be the following Thursday she was going to have her ultrasound appointment. So it turned out, now I don't know for sure right now, but I was at work yesterday, and so yesterday was Wednesday, and I was sitting there typing with my computer, and then a text popped up my phone, and I try not to text when I'm at work, and so I was like, oh, okay, that's, and I noticed she sent me a picture though of an ultrasound, and I was like, what's this, because we're supposed to go to the ultrasound today together. And so later I took a look at it, and I was like, oh, so sweet, your baby's so precious. And she was telling me baby's 8 weeks, and I was so happy for her. And anyways, I took a little zoom into the picture to look a little closer, and it had the name of the abortion clinic and the abortion doctor on the ultrasound. And horror just struck my heart. I was like, oh no, she's back there. Because Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Heritage Clinic for Women has abortions. And so I was like, she went back. And so I messaged her. I was like, well, are you there? I tried to call her. Everything was just, I was really just confused. I was like, what's happening? Because I thought it was just one more day till we had the ultrasound in the morning, just the next day at Alpha. And so eventually she called me, and she said, oh no, she just went to her regular OB for some other things. And I was still confused about that, but I thought, okay, well, she's still willing to have her ultrasound tomorrow, so we'll just make sure everything's okay the next day at the ultrasound appointment. And so, well, here we are, and she didn't come to her ultrasound appointment today. And so I'm of the assumption that she has had her abortion. And so that's really hard. It's really hard. How do you handle that? Because when I spoke to her, she said 8 weeks and 1 day. She was counting it. That was, like, she wasn't denying the humanity of her child. And so that's really, really interesting. And so, I came today with, I had purchased, like, newborn diapers and different things for her. And so it's just like, the more we put a face to these children, and we should always, the more we do it, the more vulnerable we become as sidewalk advocates, the more, or just people in pro-life ministry. And so I guess I wanted to talk today about what it means to walk through it when your heart is broken, and why we should never, ever, ever, ever give up just because our hearts are broken. Every single time I sidewalk counsel, probably almost every single time, I have a really heavy heart. I don't know what my deal is. I get there and it feels heavy. Just watching women go in and in and in, and it's like, why do we teach them that this is a solution? It's so tragic. And as we reach out to them, and some, a few maybe will respond, and then many more have their abortions. There are people that go into pro-life ministry, oh, wow, I'm so excited, this is going to be great, it's going to be so fun, and I'm going to love it, and so many babies saved, smiley faces, whatever. Yes. And some people who go in with that mentality, only just a momentary enthusiasm that just dies eventually, aren't there for the distance. They're there for the excitement. They're there for the stories. They're there for all the things that they want to have happen, right? Let's be people in pro-life ministry who are there for the distance. By His grace, I want to stay in this woman's life, even if she's had this abortion. Of course, it breaks our heart to pieces. We wanted so badly for her baby to be rescued and saved. And I hope that somehow there's been a misunderstanding that her baby is safe. I'm praying for the best, that this baby is okay. And that's one of the most challenging things about pro-life ministry, is we're here to advocate for mom and baby. And sometimes mom chooses to end baby's life. And And it's that choice to walk in the mercy and love of Jesus to her anyway afterward. It's just really, what I prefer to do myself is if I'm having a hard time with that, I will journal, I'll pray about it before I go see them, like a good couple hours before, so I can work through the heaviness in my own heart of like, wow, another baby is gone. So that way I can serve her well, because women who are post-abortive also face their own trauma. Their circumstances, the thoughts that they'd already had about their baby and different things. And so I just want to say, we will never help these women heal by being judgmental, by being harsh, by being rude or pushy or whatever. That's not the nature of Jesus. We need to keep displaying the love and grace of Jesus to them. Our God is just, and he is a defender of the weak, and he will not give up. We see these children going down to death, and we're like, what is happening? Why is this happening? And we have to remember, it's not his will. Abortion isn't his will. And Jesus will be Lord over this. He will be. He is our protector. We can live in that protection that he gives us. And we cannot give up. We cannot stop fighting for the unborn just because there's this heaviness, just because there's this pain, just because we see results going differently than we want. Jesus is still Lord, and he will keep rescuing the unborn. And if we give up, we will see less babies saved. And we have a special responsibility in that. If God has led you to pro-life ministry, you must obey. You must go about it with joy, because you're doing that out of love for Jesus. Don't give up for your emotions. Don't give up because your heart is broken. Don't give up because woman number 967 just had her abortion after you wanted to help so bad with everything. You wanted to alleviate her circumstances. You wanted to, assist her with the financial needs and whatever, and she still had the abortion. Do not give up. We have to keep being the hands and feet of Jesus to these women. I know it's hard, and Friday is my Sabbath counseling day generally, and Friday can be a really heavy day in my life, because it's like I remember just a couple weeks ago, my mom had me over to the cottage that she cleans, because the lady who owns it said I could come over, and it was supposed to be just a sweet fun time of having lunch with my mom, and and my heart was so heavy the whole time. And she said something to, she made some comment about living or something like that, and I was like, Mom, not everybody's living today. And sometimes it's hard not to carry that heaviness everywhere. But remember, Jesus has given us praise, a garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. He's taking that heaviness away. He's making all things right. And we have chosen to go against the grain of this culture. This culture hates us. This culture hates pro-life people. And you know what? They give us all their criticism and flack and unhappiness. But by his grace, we will not allow that to be our reason for giving up. By his grace, we're going the distance in this. As long as Jesus has me here, by his grace, I'm giving all my strength to this. Because he's worthy. I'm not even in this. I'm not in this for results that I can see. I'm in this because this is what Jesus is worthy of. I'm in this because Jesus loves the unborn. And those are two things that just don't change. So if everything goes south from here on out forever in pro-life ministry, and if Jesus continues to call me this for a long time, then I'm going to stay in it for a long time by his grace. So my encouragement to other Sabbath advocates is, do not lose heart. I know it's hard. I know our hearts are heavy sometimes. But stay in those women's lives who choose abortion. Show them the love and forgiveness of Jesus, and allow them to walk forward in their lives and just knowing him as their freedom. Keep advocating for life. I know that it'd be so much easier. You know how much better it would be to be at my house cleaning or something instead of being, advocating for life outside the abortion clinic. It'd be easier. Do you know what? People don't scream at me for being a stupid pro-life person at my house. Just saying, that doesn't happen. People don't demean me or look down on me or yell over me, usually. But that happens on the sidewalk. Are we willing to keep, by his grace, showing the love of Jesus to the abortion workers, to the pro-choice activists, even the ones that are especially hateful, to, all who are around us, to the unborn, to their moms and dads? I know it's soul-breaking work, but we have to keep going by his grace. He has promised to give us everything we need for life and godliness. And if part of our lives is being called to pro-life ministry, we know he will provide for us. So, today, I'm not sure, but it seems like I may be at a place of grieving another little baby today. And it is such a tragedy to think about. And all of us grieve children. Like I wear a necklace that has one letter on it to help me remember one particular child whose life was lost by abortion. But there's so many. How do we take up their cause and not lose heart? It just, yeah, that's such a mystery sometimes, but the truth is it's just by His grace. And so that'd be my encouragement today. Don't lose heart in this ministry. Jesus is with us.